Hey everybody, this is Portuguese DIY Dad, and today we are in the Sunshine State here at my brother-in-law's house, George. We're going to work on a 2004 Volkswagen Touareg. Right here, Touareg. It is a beast. He still has it. He's the original owner, and we're going to repair the brake booster vacuum lines.
Well, what we've been having here is the V6 model. The past couple of weeks we've been hearing a motor running while the car is idling or while our foot is on the brakes. I pretty much fiddled with it a little and realized that the brake booster, which is located right here behind the passenger headlight, and the vacuum line going back and then splitting in, right back here, it's got a couple of connections. It's got a T connection, so there's actually two lines here. It's one going from the booster to underneath the mass airflow, and then one, because it uses the vacuum from the intake manifold, which is this one here, going back, and then they join together and come in the firewall all the way back to the master cylinder, which is right in front of the driver, which is right underneath this panel. So the first thing I'm going to try to do to fix this problem is I'm going to replace these two lines here without having to do that one, to see if that will fix the vacuum leak, because I've been getting a check engine light because there's a vacuum leak. And it'll alleviate some tension off this, because evidently this is what's been working super duper hard, because it's trying to compensate for whatever vacuum is being lost. What's been happening is, and I guess it's a known problem, is that these plastic connections, after time, they crack. So if I can show you the old one, they just crack and break. But the connections here are absolutely fine, so I decided to get some silicone hose from Amazon for about 10 bucks. You get about 5 or 6 feet, and just replace the hose line or the vacuum line in the center and reuse the old connections. So that's what we're going to do today.
How much are the OE parts if you needed to buy the whole thing?
OEs, these are probably about 100 bucks a line, but there's a website called FCP Euro. You can get both of these for about 70 bucks a pop. That back one that I'm trying to avoid doing, because that's going to involve taking out the wipers, taking out the wiper motor, taking out this whole panel. That one's about 150 bucks on FCP Euro. But OE, it probably costs double for each of those.
So we're going to try to remediate by just replacing the hose, which is a $10 fix.
Yes. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is remove this red hose, which is just airline hose that I had just thrown in here temporarily, because that line had completely cracked and there was no way to use it. So until the vacuum hose from Amazon came in, I replaced it with just some regular airline that I had here in the garage. And now we're going to remove the airline. We're going to remove this one. We're going to take it away from there so you can see actually. So what we have here is a connection that goes into the intake manifold. I was able to pull off that temporary red airline that I had, and this is just regular silicone vacuum line that you would get on Amazon. And as you can see here, it slides in there. It's probably going to have a nice tight seal, and we're going to finish it up with a hose clamp right here at the end of each side. So this one's going to go in here, and we're going to measure the distance between the intake manifold and pretty much this back corner, because we want it to be able to go and have a nice connection here, but we want to leave enough space to be able to put another hose clamp there at the end. Okay, so also on Amazon I bought this hose clamp kit with all various sizes for about 10 bucks, and we want to be able to have a good starter hose clamp to put on both ends. So then we're going to bring them out to the ends and just tighten them down so that everything is nice and tight.
How long did you cut that hose?
We cut the hose about 7.5 to 8 inches, so you can see it can go from here to here just to close the gap. And then we're going to do this one first, because once this is done, it'll hold everything in place to then be able to do this one, which, as you can see, is all linked up together in one shot.
Yep.
Okay. Slide the hose clamp back a little. I think this hose clamp may be. So what we have here is a 6mm mini socket that's going to help me tighten up this hose clamp. I like using the socket if it's an option, because it gives us a better grip and I'm not fiddling with the Phillips head in there. That one. I need to put the hose clamp first. Here. Thicker. So we need to find a way to, I want to be able to cut this a nice cut. So then I can just do maybe a 2 or 3 inch cut to go from here to down there. That's going to make a nice seal. So we're going to measure from this tip here to about here. So let's see if we can get.
So right now we cut the hose. This is plastic, so we used a plastic cutter to cut about 3 inches.
If you want to hold it there.
Yep.
I would say we're going to start with 4.5 inches. It's going to bring us to right there. Nice spot for hose clamp.
Okay.
So here we are attaching the one that goes directly to the vacuum line for the brake booster. We're sliding it over the plastic hose barb, making sure it's all the way in.
All right, and if you're having trouble sticking the...
If you're having trouble sliding the hose over the
Yeah.
barb, you can use dielectric grease, which is a nice silicone
Right,
based
which
grease.
is this stuff right here. And
Will not corrode any kind of lines, rubber lines. Silicone
Right.
based grease is good.
just a little bit. Put it on a Q-tip. Just so I can slide in. Alright, so it is finished. And you can see everything is all nice and tight. Now, if you had gone to Volkswagen to get this fixed, this would have run you easily $500 between the parts and labor. Easy $500, and we did it for a little bit of over $10 and a little bit of elbow grease. All right, so we're testing it. Everything's looking good. No leaks, no sound coming from here. All right, we just saved you about $450. You're welcome. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and to give me a thumbs up so that way more people can see the video and I can help people save some money. If I could do this, you can do this. If my brother-in-law George can do it, you can do it. So try doing things yourself and join the DIY world.